hiding in the bushes now. Come on now, hit that like button, share and subscribe now. I know you peeping. Quit hiding in the bushes now. Come on now, hit that like button, share and subscribe now. I know you peeping. Quit hiding in the bushes now. Come on now, hit that like button, share and subscribe now. I know you peeping. Quit hiding. Hey, can y'all hear me? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the home of Blacktitanic. Is my speaker on? Can everybody hear me okay? Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome. Welcome to the home of Blacktitanic. Everybody, can y'all hear me? Okay, yes. Hey, Mary Kelly, how are you? Grand Rising, yes, Mary Kelly. Pinky, the housewife. Hey, Pinky. You guys know I tell y'all all the time to go over there and get them lights up for Pinky. I went over there, y'all. She only had like 100 some of them 200. Y'all go over there. She be putting some good stuff out over there. Pinky the housewife. That's the name of her channel. Go over there and support my sister now. Don't y'all forget. Yes, y'all. Let me do the house rule. Y'all see this? I done broke my glasses, but hopefully they'll stay on my face. House rules is I don't own any copyright to any songs if they pop up. Everything is allegedly, in my opinion, as well as my co-host. And also everything is for entertainment and educational purposes. Well, y'all know June 19 is coming. We finally got it. I've been taking y'all through a little history of the land and how we got here, right? Before we can get up to June the 19th, I needed for you guys to understand that we were already here. We talked about Pangea. We talked about Pangea, which is another name for Africa. It was known as the supercontinent. At one time, the whole earth was Africa. And then they called those tectonic plates, that's that cross around the continent, cross around the ocean. I like to think of it like y'all know how we're going to talk about the tectonic. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all, what a tectonic movement. That's what broke up the land. That's how the land cracked, broke up, separated, and shifted apart. Well, at the bottom of the ocean, you got a crust. Around the continent, you got a crust. That's known as tectonic plates. I like to share it like a pie. Y'all know it. You got your pie crust, then in the middle, you got your fillings. That's how I like to see it as, in the middle of these tectonic plates, you got that ocean sitting in the middle of that, and then you got that land, the continent sitting in the middle of the tectonic plates. And what they do is when they collide, sometimes they'll collide, you see an earthquake. Yeah, you see the shifting of the earthquake. You see new mountains forming. You see, to some, it's all those plates, they move and they collide. But 300 million years ago, the earth separated. At the bottom of that, we don't know what happened. They just said forces at the bottom of the ocean caused that tectonic plate to split, shift the land apart, and drift. So part of what, and that's how you get the different continents. Now, United States is one of the continents that drifted. When that continent drifted, it had all the black natives on it. They didn't go nowhere, y'all. This is where I tell y'all. Indeed, scientists, archaeologists have proved that this is still Africa. The soil, the bones, the fossil, all that indicate that this is still Africa. The land just drifted, that's all. But then we went into the Middle Passage, right? We went on to the Middle Passage. That was when they went over there in Africa and started bringing in slaves, a prisoner, kidnapping our people and bringing in, and they were all up and down the coast. You know, they land in the Caribbean islands. Some of us landed over here. Some of us, right? And most of us was already here. Then there was that Civil War because some of them didn't like to. Some of them, I'll tell you what sparked the Civil War was that case I was telling y'all about, the Dred Scott case, where he went and took his owner to court to be free. That sparked the Civil War because some slavers or colonizers wanted to keep the slaves. Some didn't believe in freedom. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. We freed ourselves. Thank you, Pinky the housewife. Just thank you so much for the super sticker. We freed ourselves, you guys. We freed ourselves. A lot of them had to go to war. They had to go to war to fight to free themselves during that Civil War because the South was losing. The South wanted to keep slavery. They were losing, and no, the North. I believe it was the North was losing. The South wanted to keep the slave, and so they went in and said, "Well, you know, y'all want y'all freedom." The northern states, the troop went and said, "If y'all want y'all freedom, y'all gonna have to help us fight." So a lot of our brothers, they fought for their freedom, and they didn't forget about their family members, y'all. Though once they became troops, and in that war, they went back and got their family and freed their family members. That's what they did. We always fought, y'all. We always fought. 400 years of fighting and we were up against what? All the rest of the world kept coming over. You had Britain, you had the Portuguese, you had the Spaniards. They just kept coming and coming and coming and coming. And we did not have the sophisticated weapons, but we kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And then, y'all, we went over the Seminole Indians, which was our other ancestors, which was the native. They didn't give up their land. They never did catch those Seminole Indians. They fought for over 100 years, and y'all won't get that in the history book. But anyway, we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about the day that the slaves were set free. Now, when Lincoln had signed that bill in 1863. I think it was January 1st, 1863. That Lincoln said that the slaves was free. But you know, those old evil colonizers wouldn't even tell the workers, the prisoners, that they were free. It was another 2 years before they found out that they were free. Now, when the proclamation was signed, that doesn't mean that we really was free, y'all. But a lot of y'all celebrate the 4th of July. And the 4th of July is the most brutal time for African Americans back in the day. 4th of July was when they like to have picnics. Picnic. That means go pick a Negro to hang. That's what picnic was. And usually it would be on the 4th of July. They would be like fruits, fresh fruits, all up and down the country, just hanging. That's what they did on the 4th of July. And then they sold a lot of our people were sold too. Do you know on the 4th of July? They were auctioned off or they were hanged. And that's what y'all be celebrating when y'all celebrate the 4th. Our holiday is June the 19th. Okay, Nosy Rosie Graham, how are you? Nosy Rosie Graham, Pinky the housewife, Demeter J. Nicola. Yeah, Pinky the housewife. I don't know where you at, Pinky, but I know in Texas is where they started from. And don't y'all feel bad if y'all didn't know, because I didn't know till I was in my 20s, y'all. I had moved from Huntsville to Texas, Houston, Texas. And when I got there, they were celebrating. I had been there like a year. And that first year they were celebrating. I'm like, what are they celebrating for? I felt stupid because it was a little girl. She had to be about 12 years old. She told me this was when the slaves were set free. You didn't know, Mama? I didn't know. I was like about 22 years old at the time. I did not know. So that was when I found out, was when I moved to Texas. And I didn't know because in Huntsville, Cleveland, Detroit, all those areas that I was staying in was not celebrating June 10th. So that's when I learned about it when I was in my 20s. So don't feel bad that y'all don't know. It's okay. All righty. Yo, hey, you hit it on the nose, Joyce Pitt. Mute Martel hoax. Please stop acknowledging him and giving him life. Well, you know what? We're finna talk about that today. That's what we're getting ready to talk about. So we're going to talk about, y'all know that Melody is trying to, well, she already divorced this man. And we saw where the lawyer was talking to her about the divorce, right? Because she wanted to change her last name. Well, she got to change now, I believe. But he is upset. This man, and anybody mention it, if he around, he going to come into their chat and start, fussing with them. But y'all know what does it mean to what does it mean, y'all, when you want to divorce a narcissist? Dealing with a narcissist who want mediation is not easy, you guys. He might say he want the mediation work, but he mean the opposite. This woman says she been in a battle of her life. Because all Martel want is control, y'all. But when you going down that road in a divorce with a narcissist, he become aggressive. Y'all see how he was very aggressive because she divorcing him. He got all this power play going in, belittling her, going back and forth with her, telling her she is not a great co-parent. It doesn't work. Good co-parenting with a narcissist can't work. Why? Because all they think about themselves. They not trying to mediate. Now, it's easy if you go to a mediation with somebody with a normal mind, right? And trying to work towards the same goal. But when you go into a mediation with a narcissist, no, his goal's not like y'all. It's all about himself. That's why Melody had to just, okay, well, we got to separate this. You have your time with your children. I have my time with my children. She had to separate it. She tried it. Y'all saw when she was on the, she tried to co-parent with him, like trying to be like normal couples that divorced when they went on that trip. Y'all saw what he did. He overstepped his boundaries on that trip. The first thing we saw was him woo. bringing up them Scots, and them Scots was talking about her children at that time. The mama was talking about the children. They had bought in Shrek talking about her mama. They were so disrespectful to this woman, and I can't imagine why Martel would even bring them people on her trip. She did not even know, y'all. And then you had a lot of people criticizing her, saying she was throwing shade at Martel while he was on that trip. Who could blame her? He putting the enemies right in her face on that trip when the trip's supposed to be uniting the dad with his family, and he brought all the rest of this drama on that trip. Oh boy, y'all saw it. Y'all saw when Mel was trying to unite Marlene, try to blend, and Martel try to blend that family in. And Martel, all he did was in the background creating chaos, gaslighting the bed bug in the background. Y'all know who I'm talking about, the bed bug. Calling her on the phone, talking about, oh yeah, I made a mistake and called your name while we were in bed. But that's what the harlot said. Melody cleared that up. That no, it wouldn't that, because she didn't even go to bed with him. But that's what Arian said. And then he was telling her about this girl had COVID. I mean, that's what he was doing while he was on the trip, talking to Arian in the background, gossiping about Mel. So yeah. So y'all, that's why mediation. Now y'all know this man now. He pissed off because she done finally got a divorce. He want mediation. Yeah, Mel, let's mediate. He didn't want to mediate till he found out that he was not going to do what? Get paid. He wasn't going to get child support. He wasn't going to get his lawyer fees. But his mediation would have been one-sided if she would have tried to mediate with him. Because he was saying, he's trying to blackmail her. I'll just drop the full custody case then. That's what he said. Now, in exchange for what? This is just me saying that. I'll drop full custody case, but you still got to pay my lawyer fees. You still got to pay for the kids when they over there with me. They have to have the same lifestyle. So whatever they want to do when they over there with me, you got to pay for them. This is me saying that. But I'm just trying to show y'all that you can't mediate with no novice. Yeah, what else? The other mediation, you can just give me half of sugar mama money. You can't mediate with him, no, because all he do is just gonna keep this court case prolonged. That's why Melody said no, we're gonna go full speed and get this over with. Now, anyway, with a narcissist, when you get a divorce from them, they all about winning. It's not about the children, what the children's best interest is, or what's the best interest for the family. It's all about winning. And y'all know he said it all the time. He said all the time that he won. But what did he win? He didn't win anything, y'all. Oh, yeah. So it's mediation for child support. Can y'all figure this out? That he want little sugar mama. Little sugar mama. He want her to be financially responsible for him. So what has happened because of that? I can't get no money off of these children. Then take them off social media, period, where they can't sell their products, where they can't be upfront. And I'm gonna put little knots. Yeah, that thing right there just tears me up the way this man think about himself. This man would manipulate and control this situation to where he would take the M&M kids off the air and bring his mistress kids up front to change the narrative. No, they don't have no talent. Here's the talent over here with me and Little Knox. Yeah, this where the talent is at. So that's what he's trying to do. Little Knox is a superior over Sugar Mama. That's what he doing, y'all. This is crazy. Little Knox is superior over Sugar Mama, and that's what the narrative that I'm trying to put up front now, so I can make money off of Little Knox. Once again, it's not about the children. It's not. It's about him. It's not about little Knox neither. It's about him controlling the narrative. If I can make money off of Little Knox, if I can push the Eminem kids to the back burner and put Lil Knox up as being a superior kid, the golden child, then this the way I'm going to make my money. And how I'm going to do it, I got to put out there that Mel is a bad mother. Yeah, Mel is a bad money. I got to put out there that Lil Tank, right, is disobedient in school. See, y'all remember that school thing with him wearing that chain? He dogged that boy out for wearing a chain to school when Lil Knox have a chain on every day. One thing I do know about a narcissist, they will play the kids against each other. And boys, he doing a good job. He doing a good job of playing the kids against each other. When they get grown, they most likely won't be close to Lil Knox simply because of what the dad is doing, right? Lil Knox just enjoyed being around his dad, righteously so. Lil Knox don't know that this is why the dad all of a sudden started just having some one-on-one time with him. Is because he's trying to use him as a cash cow. Yeah, let's push Sugar Mama to the back. No, Sugar Mama not the superior one. Lil Knox is. Let's twist this narrative, y'all. Y'all see that? That's who the superior child is, the golden child is Lil Knox, and not Sugar Mama, because we already know that this man is not feeling Sugar Mama. Y'all, it may sound insane, but that's what he's doing, y'all. He wants to push the Eminem kids back and have Lil Knox come forth as the real celebrity. Yeah, bring Knox out. Also, bring Knox out to hurt these Eminem kids. Bring Knox out to hurt Melody. Bring Knox out to put Knox on a pedestal because he is the talented kid and not Sugar Mama. Look, y'all, I'm not talking about these children, but this is Martel. This is his mindset. And you got the little baby caught in the middle. You got this man just started a smear campaign against Sugar Mama. That's all this is. This smear campaign against Sugar Mama is because he wanted Sugar Mama money. He wanted Sugar Mama to support him off of her hair product. He felt like since he was a dad, he should get that baby's money too. Another thing about Sugar Mama too, she was out selling his Inez wine. Y'all know a narcissist is jealous over his own kids. He's jealous over Sugar Mama. He's jealous over his own children, y'all. So now what he want to do, twist that narrative. No, this is bring Lil Knox up. This is the kid with the talent, not the Eminem kids. This child right here. It's the talent. This is a smear campaign against his own children. Y'all, this man is so low down. And like that girl say, what she said, Martel, Hope, please stop acknowledging him and giving him life. Honey, let me tell you something. This has to be discussed. This has to be discussed. This is going on in the Black community. This is abuse. A lot of times, that's why a lot of people that are abused, especially Black women, they won't come forth if the children is being abused. Y'all want them to keep quiet. If you being abused, y'all want us to keep quiet. No. Let me tell y'all something. When I was growing up, I was being abused. That's what they would tell me. Quit acknowledging that. Don't say that. Don't say that you giving other people life, but no, not at my expense. I ain't gonna keep quiet. I'm not gonna keep quiet if somebody is abusing me. This man is abusive. This man is violent. And not only that, his violence has even went other places. Look at what Kendrick said. Kenya Moore said that the man was violent towards her. No, we can't keep quiet about all this abuse going on in our community. Abuse towards children, abuse towards women. No way we can't keep quiet about that. All right, y'all, let's go on and get into the program. And then when I come back, I want to talk about this narcissist. I want y'all to come up and talk about how he's putting this smear, start a smear campaign with Melody by saying she's a bad mom and a neglectful mom, and also how this man push Sugar Mama to the back burner and put Little Knox on. All right, we're finna get started with Juneteenth. And welcome, everybody. Everybody, welcome. And hey, Impotentious, Joyous Pitt, Nosy Rosie Brown, Pinky the housewife. Yay. Executive order of the United States, the proclamation of the orders that set the slaves free. Now, I'm going to tell you, they hid these orders for 2 years from out the prisoners, all right? 2 years they hid this order that they were free.
The episode of Profiles in History. Today
we're going to be talking about Juneteenth. What really happened on June 10th is, which is June the 19th, is the day that the slaves were set free. July the 4th, y'all, was the day they mostly put us on the auction block and sold our ancestors. Let's see how this started.
Is where we were gathering to celebrate Juneteenth. They named it Emancipation Park. Full disclosure here, I probably could have known.
So his name was...
Only day in my life that I got to combine eating cake with drinking soda. Of course, I'm talking about that infamous red velvet cake and strawberry soda pop. 3 hours drive southeast of my hometown of Killeen. I used to wonder why we never celebrated in the capital city of Austin, which was only about 40-minute drive from my hometown. But it wasn't until I was about, 12, maybe. Everyone called Pastor Yates, who organized the community back in 1872 to purchase land. This land is where we were gathering to celebrate Juneteenth. They named it Emancipation Park. Full disclosure here, I probably could have known this fact much sooner as a child had it not been for my preoccupation with the food and fun of Juneteenth. I don't think I've ever seen in my life so much food in one place.
So that's where we get distracted by all the food, you guys, all the food and the fun, and we never question why we'll celebrate. All y'all know for July the 4th is you can eat good and pop them firecrackers. But indeed, July the 4th, your ancestor was still slave. This is the general orders that came out to 2 years before. 2 years before the slaves knew that they were set free. All the slavers, the colonizers, kept it quiet because they did not want to lose their profit.
From the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute.
This is Baba the storyteller, the general orders.
That I later found out was a lie, a big lie. It has to do with the popular narrative that the enslaved in Galveston, Texas, knew nothing about their freedom until General Granger came down from New Orleans on June 19, 1865, and delivered his infamous 5 Orders address. The third order read thusly: the people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with a proclamation from the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freed are advised to remain at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts, and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to bear with me for a second. I gotta gather myself so I don't say the wrong thing. First of all, Texas was one of the most inhumane, sadistic states in the Confederacy. And yes, the inhumanity heaped on the enslaved has been chronicled extensively. And so I won't need to go into that here. But to believe that enslaved men, women, and children in Galveston were these indolent, ignorant souls not active in their own fight for freedom is beyond delusional. Okay, I might be getting ahead of myself here. Let's just look at the popular narrative surrounding Juneteenth, and you'll see where I'm going. The popular narrative says that Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation January 1, 1863, freeing the enslaved in all treasonous states that had seceded from the Union. By the way, slave states that hadn't seceded, Delaware, Kentucky, Missouri, and Maryland, they weren't affected by the Emancipation Proclamation. The institution of slavery remained intact in those states, but that's a topic for another session.
So did y'all hear what he said? When Lincoln did the proclamation, those were the states that still had slaves or prisoners. This is Baba the storyteller. This is Baba the storyteller, and you know that our ancestors always fought for their freedom. Freedom wasn't just given to them. We had to fight for their freedom. And then those that were set free went back and rescued their loved one.
None of them know anything about the subject. And anyway, there's an old adage that says, if you want to hide something from most people, then place it between the pages of a book. Let's get back to Galveston. First things first, I want you to use your own common sense here when I point something out. Contemporary mythology wants you to believe that the enslaved people of Galveston were in the dark about things happening in the Civil War, and specifically the Emancipation Proclamation. Okay, common sense people. Galveston is a port city. Please don't make me have to explain what that means. Secondly, okay, and I know most of you already know this, but Texas borders Louisiana. The Union captured New Orleans in 1862. There is so much more to be said about this, and I'm leaving so much on the table. The Union used their position in Louisiana to lead attacks into Texas. During the war, let me add something here.
Talking about the Civil War.
Enslaved people in Texas would flee enslavement, another form of resistance, cross Union lines, and lend themselves to the cause. This is how interesting this gets. Many of these formerly enslaved Texans, let's make sure to include Galveston here, who had family and loved ones still under the yoke of slavery would return to fight or attempt to free their family and loved ones. There were thousands of Harriet Tubmans all doing the same thing to bring others to freedom. To really understand this dynamic of enslaved, formerly enslaved, and free Blacks forming resistance movements, we should put a lens on what became known as the Rio Grande Exposition. This gets almost no attention in our talks about the Civil War. What was so important about the Union's Rio Grande Expedition? 5 Black regiments occupied the area of Texas around modern-day Brownsville from 1863 to the end of the war in 1865. What was their mission? Well, exportation of cotton was financing the Confederacy's treason. These Black troops were sent to disrupt the cotton trade, and disrupt it they did. The landing of Black regiments in Texas near the Brownsville area scared the mess out of these white secessionist communities. Newspapers from that era tell stories of mass hysteria and whites fleeing Texas, leaving those they had enslaved behind, as well as most of their belongings. Once again, I'm only scratching the surface here, and I hope this encourages many of you to do the same or do your own research. Quickly, let me share a map with you to illustrate my point. Here's Brownsville, on the Gulf near where these Union troops landed. This invasion, as the Confederates wanted to call it, sent shockwaves up through San Antonio, Houston, and as far away as Austin. Are we really to believe that this same panic didn't make its way up north to Galveston? It did. I assure you. I can also guarantee that everyone in Galveston was talking about this. Here's a quote from a Texas newspaper from that time, the Houston Tri-Weekly Telegraph. "We and the entire country in great excitement. The majority of planters have removed their Negroes towards the interior, and many families have left them all behind in fleeing from the perils of invasion." So, from 1863 to 1865, these Black soldiers were wreaking havoc on the Confederacy from this area of Southeast Texas.
So we always fought, y'all. Y'all, it's ludicrous. It's delusional for y'all to just think that we didn't fight. Anyway, this was the Civil War leading up to the freedom. The day the slaves were set free.
The connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor.
Put it back a little bit, y'all. Let me see.
South, 250,000 slaves remained in Texas following the war and were shocked by Granger's General Order. General Order number 3 was handwritten and read by General Granger as he stood on the balcony of Ashton Villa, former headquarters of the Confederate Army. This officially ended slavery in the state of Texas. The order reads as follows: Headquarters, District of Texas, Galveston, Texas, June 19, 1865. General Orders number 3. The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness, either there or elsewhere. By order of Major General Granger, F.W. Emory, Major Assistant Adjutant General. The proclamation from the Executive of the United States refers to Abraham Lincoln, who was dead, yet his order lived on. Texas was home to the last remaining legally enslaved Blacks in the U.S. While a messenger had been sent to Texas to issue the order by announcing the emancipation of Blacks, slave owners ignored the report and withheld the information from their slaves so that business could continue as usual with a free labor force. Since
This
Texas
is
remained a
unique
Confederate
coloring,
state until
y'all.
General Lee's surrender in April
Unique coloring.
1865, emancipation was not enforced. General Granger was given command of the District of Texas and dispatched to Galveston with Union troops for this reason. After General Granger read the order publicly from the balcony of Ashton Villa, he sent his men marching through Galveston to read the general order in various locations. These included their headquarters at the Osterman Building, the local courthouse, and the Negro Church on Broadway, now known as Reedy Chapel AME Church. All Texans were officially informed that, per Lincoln's original proclamation, all slaves were now free. The annual celebration of Juneteenth arose from this event. Officially called Emancipation Day, June 19th is also called Freedom Day and Juneteenth Independence Day in some circles. It would seem that the arrival of General Granger and his Union troops, coupled with their grand announcement, instantly led to 250,000 slaves experiencing freedom. But this couldn't be farther from the truth. Some chroniclers of Juneteenth's history would have us believe otherwise. One source, National Today, a site that keeps track of holidays and special moments on the cultural calendar, writes, Granger's arrival with the grand news stirred the air with jubilance and massive celebrations across the state. A former slave named Felix Haywood gave his recount of the first celebration in 1865. We was all walking on golden clouds. Everybody went wild. We was free. Just like that, we was free. Felix Haywood, an elderly blind ex-slave from San Antonio, Texas, may have spoken this account. But what happened immediately following the proclamation of the order in Galveston was quite different for many. The news spread quickly on the relatively small island city of Galveston, but the day of freedom did not come as expected. In the book Lone Star Pass, Memory and History in Texas, Elizabeth Hayes Turner, a professor of history at the University of North Texas, writes, the former Confederate mayor rounded up black runaways and held them for return to their owners. The Union Army's provost marshal went along with this action, but did so for the purpose of holding them as laborers for the military. Freedmen who entered the town after that found themselves pressed into military service. Although the announcement had come, for many, freedom still seemed elusive. Freedom did come to Galveston when Union troops occupied the island, but even with 1,800 troops, Granger's general order took some time to reach the ears of plantation owners and their 250,000 slaves across the vast stretches of Texas. Some government agents did not arrive at distant plantations for months, and after they did arrive, plantation owners decided when and how to relate the news to their slaves. Many waited till after the season's harvest to do so. Turning to Elizabeth Hayes Turner once more, concerning Texas slaves, she writes in Lone Star Pass, when they did get the news and attempted to act on it by leaving, their immediate joy succumbed to despair as white vigilantes punished former slaves for preferring freedom to labor exploitation. Uncertainty mixed with high expectations for the future. The size of the state, the long distances between farms, the thin lines of Union protection, the remoteness from urban areas and from the heart of the defeated Confederacy conspired to bring emancipation more slowly into the interior of Texas. Historians estimate that 38,000 former soldiers from the Confederacy's Trans-Mississippi Department headed home following the war, but they ransacked and pillaged towns as they went. Soldiers from the Texas division of this Confederate department did no less. Arriving at
So you guys have to go to this and see the rest is The Truth About Juneteenth, Black History Explainer. This is by Unique Coloring, you guys. Please go watch the rest of this. Juneteenth. Y'all, is none of this hidden. I don't know. None of this stuff is hidden. It's there. It's been there. For y'all to learn, you just got to start doing your own research. But right after that, I did the Devil's Punch Bowl already, and one of my videos where a lot of the free black people went into camps, right? They threw them into the big old hole and left them to die. Millions of our people died from starvation. They put them in the concentration camp. And so we so blinded by the celebration, like the young man said, of the food and everything. We talk about picnic. Picnic was another issue that we need to learn about. That means that you go pick in. This is the meaning of picnic, you guys. Now, picnic back in the day when our ancestors was held prisoner, or y'all want to call it slavery, the colonizer would announce that we're gonna have a picnic. It would be announced in church. That means go find you Negro to pick to hang. Now that's what that means, the word picnic. Also, usually on the 4th of July, it took place, a lot of it took place on 4th of July, which you guys like to celebrate. A lot of the picnics, a lot of the hangings on 4th of July, and a lot of selling, selling, also on the auction blocks took place on 4th of July as well.
Hey, Auntie Bev here. The next time you decide to have a picnic, I want you to give some. Now, picnic comes from the French language, pique-nique, which means a social gathering. But when it evolved in the United States, it took on a more sinister meaning.
This is Auntie Bev, y'all.
Was a gathering by white Southerners while they watched the lynching of a black man. They would gather their favorite food and beverage in their favorite location while they watched a man hang. They cheered, they drank, they ate, and according to the Jim Crow Museum, between 1882 and 1968, more than 4,000 blacks were lynched. Now, some believe it was even higher than that. Who knew? I knew. And now you do. It's amazing what you learn when you do research.
Also, that's right, you guys. Picnic. Mean go pick one of your ancestors and hang them. Yeah, that's what picnic mean, y'all. So that was how June 10th began. June 19th began. Like I said, it was 2 years. January the 1st, 1865, that Lincoln wrote the proclamation. But it was, 1961. I think it was like in 1963 or 65 that the slaves learned that they were free. Yeah, it was June 19th, 1865, pardon me. 1865. Now this book right here, Blacktitanic, African Aboard. In this book, I talks about what happened on this land because the story was being told to me by Grandpa. Grandpa was born back in those days, and him and one lady talk about the Buffalo Soldiers, but my grandfather now was not part of the Buffalo Soldiers because they were enlisted by the United States. So my grandfather and Uncle Jeff, they formed their own group. I'm just gonna read just a little bit with y'all from here. Now Jeff, that's my grandfather brother. He was expert in archery because back in the day they weren't allowed to carry guns. So he was an expert in archery. But when they finally caught him, they cut his hand off, y'all. They cut my Uncle Jeff's hand off because they were just like Harriet Tubman. They went around freeing a bunch of slaves. You had plenty of Harriet Tubman going around freeing the ones that wanted to be free. Now, Jeff was the youngest brother, born to the parents John and Sarah Boyd, my great, 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 great parents. But they own over 600 acres of land, which they occupied. Now, how you know now, we Blackfoot Indians. We Indians. We done mixed up with the Seminoles and the Cherokee. All of us done mixed up together. Y'all got the history. We got together to try to keep our land, and we fought. And this is what my grandfather and my Uncle Jeff was part of that. My grandmama was a Cherokee. So my family never was enslaved. They always fought. They were blended in with the Seminole. All right, so Jeff oversaw a plant teamster union, which was the most powerful union to increase wages and resist unfair treatment of people of African descent. What's more, he oversaw a black military. He enlisted black men across the United States. He was watched and feared by the government. My grandfather and my Uncle Jeff was. Now, with my grandfather, my Uncle Jeff, I pull up the military records. They step by step, I know what they did because they were being watched. Now, that's way back from the 1800s, y'all. That's why I can keep up with the documents of my family, because the government always had an eye on my Uncle Jeff. Uncle Jeff was Grandpa's brother, much like J. Hoover did with the Black Panthers, same thing. So he had a black military. He enlisted black men across the state. He was watched and feared by the white government. His militia was called Yachts, Y-A-T-S. You ever see that? That means you ain't taking shit. That's what that means, right? That was the name of their military group. Across the state, they formed allies with mostly black natives who refused to give up their land. Each yacht was known for their fierce fighting ability. Not to get them mixed up with the Buffalo Soldiers now. The Buffalo Soldier was started by the United States Army. But in September the 21st, 1866 was when the Buffalo Soldiers was started. Jeff and his men, my Uncle Jeff and his men saw them as traitors, because they refused to fight for themselves, instead empower the white man. Now that's how he felt now. But to be fair with the Buffalo Soldiers, they were going underground and freeing other Africans. The Yachts community was where whites dare not enter. They didn't come into our community now. It was overcrowded. For safety, many ex-slaves had run to them. In return for the favor, everyone had to work the land. They grew healing herbs, corn, green peas, beans, and sugar canes, and had a peach grove. They had livestock such as horses and cattle, goats, and chicken. Everything they needed was in the Yachts community. And they knew violence is the way the white man take land, so they stayed prepared to fight back. So our ancestors always fought back. And y'all, this is in this book right here. This book was told to me from my grandpa and my Uncle Jeff before they died. They were born back in that time, and they will give me history of what was going on in this land. All right, you guys. So who is this? Hello. What parents say that they have a favorite? Sad. Yeah, Martel has said that, y'all. A lot of y'all don't want to give Martel no clout. Or y'all don't call it clout. Yeah, I don't either, y'all, but he's so violent to this one way that Mel is being protected. Mel is being protected as long as eyes is on this man. And I don't want to cover him. I know y'all don't want to cover him. Y'all don't want to get him, but he, long as eyes is on this man, that's how her protection is being sought. I hate to say this. I don't want to speak things into life, but a lot of that man dangerous, you guys. He's very, very, very dangerous. As long as we keep our eyes on him, keep him up there in the public so we can see, is he gonna hurt Mel and them children? And I mean eliminate their lives. That's what I mean. But and then I understand that too. Don't give him no life. He don't deserve no life. God knows he don't deserve it. And then you got Melody and her children. And then I be like, what is a watchful eye? So many of our Black sisters and brothers did not have this kind of eye out on their abusive man. So they end up being eliminated because they didn't have eyes watching for them. But anyway, I get it. I get it, you guys. I get it to you, Miss Jacob. Y'all said we don't need to be keeping him up front. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I love me some Karma Real, and I'm right with her when she says the same thing about that child, about this child right here. That no, she would not make him out of a celebrity. And it's not the child's fault. It's both of their parents. Now, Arian was so nasty. She just nasty about it. Both of them is just nasty. How they done did Mel and those children, they have been so nasty, you guys. And it's just not right. It's not right. It's not morally right to have for him to put his mistress child up front like that, and take his own child that he was married to and throw them on the back burner. Okay, that young lady said she remembered that picture where who was that? Let me find it. The picture where Sugar Mama was on the floor in that picture. Oh my God, I don't think nobody gonna ever forget that, y'all. They ain't nobody never go. I'll find it later. It'll pop. It's gonna pop up. But yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. But nobody would never, ever, ever forget that picture right there. Put Sugar Mama on the floor, and she was so little at that time. She was barely walking at that time. Ooh, that hurt. That hurted me so bad. That man did that. They say that narcissists don't care. They'll use their children as to hurt their children. Okay, let me go on my little notes. I want to make sure I gave y'all all the things about the Emancipation Proclamation. Okay, I said one of the misconceptions that y'all have is that we never fought it. We always fought it. Another misconception is they set us free. We set our own self free, y'all. Our ancestors set their own free. Maybe because Lincoln was able to put it down in writing, but we were always fighting. And same way in the 60s, back in the day, y'all, Martin Luther King was having everybody turn their cheeks. And y'all saw how they were sicking dogs on them, throwing them in jail, putting hose pipes on them, bombing up the churches. No, it was until the Black Panther came on the scene, because the Black Panthers, and not only the Black Panthers, but other people, they weren't part of the Panther, but we wreaked havoc across the United States. We was tearing this shit up. We was tearing the whole United States up, every city you went to. We was tearing it up because we wanted our freedom. We wanted our rights. But they were not giving it to them until we came on the scene, until the fighters came on the scene. Had it been they would have just kept turning on the other cheek, they wouldn't have never put nothing into writing. Of course, like I told y'all yesterday, Esau, you can't never trust Esau, because right now We still trying to get the right voting rights. still messing with the voting. So, and then we still ain't got our 40 acres and a mule. Child, you can't trust none Esau say, but we have always fought, and it was the fighters that they never teach all about, and it's the fighters that push them to forefront front to make things happen in the law. Because back in the day, well, I told y'all back in the day when those soldiers, they turned on them, they used them to get weapons, they turned on them and started freeing their family members. You had my Uncle Jeff and all them little black militia groups, the Yaks groups, and a whole lot of militia group, a whole lot of Harriet Tubman running around here. They was scared. Them Esau was scared. They were running. They were running. They ran. A lot of them ran, left whole plantations behind. Yeah. And then a lot of us started occupying those plantations too. Yeah. So we always fought, y'all. So it's just a misconception if y'all think that we just hung our head, said yes sir or no sir. So I talked about June the 19th. 1865 was when they announced it again that slaves was set free. Okay, the Emancipation Proclamation doesn't mean that everybody was free. Certain states weren't free, y'all. And it was until 19, I think it was 1980, when they declared that Texas, that June 19 was a legal holiday, and that's where it started, right there in Texas. I think that says. So a lot of 1980, because a lot of slaveholders knew that Texas was one of the states, even though it was announced that there were freedom, they were not free because a lot of the slaveholder would take they prisoner there and hide them in Texas. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much that. We can go on into the love and marriage Huntsville. Now we're gonna talk today. We're gonna talk about this man bringing up knots and pushing Sugar Mama to the side. So y'all get y'all thinking caps on and be ready to come up after I throw this link. Throw the link up when it's almost finished. But we need to talk about this, y'all. And y'all, I'm getting all of y'all points. All y'all points is good. Don't show him. Don't give him no kind of like, yes. If we're gonna talk about it, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Don't give him no life. I understand that. Yeah, I understand that, man. Oh God, don't know what to do with this man. Yeah, and I'm afraid that if we put him in the dark, what will he sneak around and go over there and do something to Mel? If we keep him in the dark. All right, y'all, here we go. Love and marriage Huntsville. This is about the divorce, y'all. Oh shit. This sucker got mad. He got the nerve to be mad because this woman got her last name back and fussing with everybody. Melody share, Melody live with Tank holding it down. Melody mad. Melody drop host. That's her last name. This gotta be it. Martel, man. Anyway, hey Leon Willman, Flora Hooks. Thank you, Flora Hooks, for sharing that with us that was you about keeping him quiet. Is that you? We're gonna talk about it, babe. I acknowledge all of it. Hey Pinky, you coming out with me? Be my co-host? All right, Pinky, come on up now. You're gonna be my co-host today. Just hold on, we gotta get through this. Y'all welcome my co-host, Miss Pinky. We're going to get through this, Pinky, and then you just stay on up to be my co-host.
Yeah, I'm going to be your co-host.
Yeah. Melody free to drop Hope as her last name, and Martell gets angry. Well, Martell, he talking about some. He answering. Melody is talking to a lawyer about changing her last name. Of course, we heard it earlier, and the lawyer said, well, she couldn't change her last name as long as Martell got her in court. He's telling us, well, court is over. Hello, Miss Rogers. A lot of you women just love leaving irrational comments. Clearly, this has nothing to do with me trying to control her nor the situation. Stop running with everything. Now, listen, you guys. That's why I said, are you smarter than a first grader, Martell? Because you're the one that took her to court. You knew that she couldn't change her last name. You knew that, Martell. You took her to court. You prolonged her from changing her last name. So yes, it had a lot to do with you. It had 100% things to do with you. Are you smarter than a first grader, Martell? I think not. Martell is upset with the fans because the fans are just talking about Melody getting her last name changed. At Martell host, I mean, if you would just leave. At Martell host, I mean, if you would leave her alone and stop taking her to court for bullshit reasons, because you're mad she left. Thanks for the super sticker. Maybe this would be an issue. She's moved on, got a new man in her life. Why can't she be happy? You date other women and that's okay. But the moment she wants to move on with her life, it's a problem. I would think as a person you would want the best for your wife as a divorcee.
So I have you on camera. Is there yes? Is there any good? Awesome. Awesome. Hey, what's up, brother? How's it going? Good. You look good. Hey, I'm just trying. Okay. Just trying. Well, take a seat, please. Coming up next, we got the Go-Getters. Their family, Marcel and Tisha Scott. Woo! Diana Ross! Come on, Supreme! Hey! You better, I know that's right, Tisha. Hey, come on, girl. Hey, beauty. Not as nice as you. Okay. Go ahead, What up, brother? We got Detroit in the house. Yeah. Diana Ross and Barry Gordy. Yes. All right. Next up, we got the man with the new plan, Mr. Martell Holt. Yeah. What's up? Mr. Presidential. How's it going? How's it going? Did you bring any peaches with you? Yes. No, okay. And of course, we got the beautifully candid Melody Cherie Holt. Elliot superstar. Come on, girl. How's it going, beauty?
Y'all heard that, Hope, so you can see he want her last name to remain Melody Cherie. Melody Hope, he is upset because so Melody is walking into her lawyer's office, y'all, and she's getting ready to discuss her final divorce. But y'all, we have to know what's going on, what kind of man she got, right? He loved to gaslight her. He loved to gaslight Melody. Then he'll sit down in his confession, try to make us feel like Melody is the crazy woman. Melody is the one that keep drama going. He is so abusive. He try to manipulate every situation there is. He try to distort reality and always try to tell the public that it's Melody. It's not him.
Good to see you as well.
Have a seat.
Yes, let me tell you something. One thing for sure that I see is you've been busy. Caleb has been my attorney since this whole messy divorce, to be honest. And now he's stepping in and helping me with this prolonged custody case. He's really trying to get everything resolved. So really, my kids and I, we can just move on with some normalcy without all of the extra. But I have no doubt that Caleb will take care of it and get it all handled.
How have you?
Remember, she said that she hoped that with this divorce or this custody case, at the end of it, she can move on with some sense of normalcy, because it's been extremely difficult for this woman. This woman is a victim, you guys, and she's been trying to resist every effort she can to stay away from drama with him, but it keeps coming at her. Wherever she's at work, he comes and attack her. She's at home, he come and attack her. She's at friends, we saw him attack her. Oftentimes he's gaslighting this woman. He's just trying to even make us feel like, it's all male problem. But Mel is trying to set some kind of boundaries because this man is abusive speaking to her. He's abusive around her. He's aggressive. So she tried to keep control of this relationship with him, with having boundaries with this man.
I've been great, and I appreciate you too taking some time to chat with me.
Of course.
So I know that we talked about my name change. So that's a big thing, a decision I made, right? Mm-hmm. Is that I want to change my name from that piece of it anyway. Mm-hmm. I just do Melody Sharif. I want to go back to my maiden name.
Okay, now this name change has made him completely angry. Some of this, in my opinion, besides him prolonging this custody battle, he knew that would prolong her from changing her last name. Now with that hopes with her having that last name hopes, he's got other things in mind. It's just not that he loves her, but he got other things in mind, like business deal, trying to profit off of her. But as long as she keep that last name Hope, he feel like he can be connected to her when it comes down to making business deals too. Because you can remember now, they started off together as Hopes and Hoax now. And everybody know them as a couple. Everybody know Melody and him as the one that's going out with doing these business deals together. But so he don't want her to change that last name, because once you change that last name,
Thanks for the cash
he can
app,
attach himself with a business venture.
Thank you.
With him, right? She wants to be done with that last name. She don't want no more distraction with this man. She don't want to hear nothing he got to say. She don't want nothing misconstrued about her intentions with this man at all. She through with him, y'all. She through with him.
Rogers is, the name that I did everything up till 22.
And I've got
my
that with
success.
a D.
With
right?
a D?
That's
mm-hmm. Right. So where are we with that? And how long does it take and all that good stuff?
And I'm glad you mentioned, it
Thank
is
you
kind
for
of a
the
tough decision.
cash app,
There's not
Janice.
really anybody that can object to you getting your name changed. One of the things I think that's going to hold you back is there is a requirement that you cannot be a party in any active court case in any jurisdiction in the United States of the world.
Wow.
So
y'all see that, right? Oh Lord. She been wanting to get her name changed for the longest, and now that she got her last name changed, finally this man is mad. This is an extremely toxic situation with this woman, because this man have been acting terrible terrible. He even tried to attack her insanity, trying to convince us that it's Mel. Mel is doing all these crazy things, and Mel is keeping him from the children. Mel is a neglectful mother. Mel worked too much. This man right here is trying to manipulate and distort reality to the public to make us feel like, Mel is in the wrong. He want everybody to just forget about what he did. Just shut up talking about what I do, not my business. Just shut up talk about my business. It's Mel's fault and not mine. Any conflict that we have with co-parenting is Mel's fault and not mine. And I'm not going to let her escape that.
We're involved in a court case with Martel. So,
I mean, when I'm trying to change the last name, now this right, this is not it. I'm not happy about that.
I'm sure you're not. So, unfortunately.
I know I was surprised even some of the things in that case, being asked. I mean, I didn't, this is my first time dealing with a custody thing. So I was like, why does it phone records? Like, I felt like that was invasive. Why is your attorney asking for my phone records? I understand a little bit, I guess, bank statements because you want to prove that the person is able to take care of the children.
We objected to a decent amount of stuff.
Yeah, because one of the questions they wanted to know that he had his attorney ask my passwords to my social media.
Never had a judge
and then also even anyone that I've met up with since the divorce in a romantic way. Why does that matter? That doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
And you know what, y'all? You remember Mel kept telling us about the phone being tapped. This is just makes us believe that I've never doubted her. But speaking of what he asking for, this crazy stuff he asking for of her right now makes you know that this man is a possibility. Probably 99% think that he did tap this woman's phone. And then he tried to sit up there at the reunion, try to make her feel like she was crazy. Yeah, he tried to manipulate the situation like as if Mel was crazy and he was the victim. Ooh, worst part about it, y'all. This man like to try to brainwash people like he done brainwash Aaron. He can't brainwash Melody, not anymore. It's like a pimp and a prostitute mind. Yeah, he the pimp. And then the prostitute mind where they do everything that the pimp would say do, sort of like Aryan. And that's how he trying to get Mel to be, But Mel like, oh no. I know that you're extremely toxic and I don't want no part of you. Even the memories, all the memories of you now is terrible. This woman said that she married this man.
How are the things going though with you and Martel?
I know you've had to send him a letter and stuff in the past for him popping up at the house and all the excessive calls and all of that. That part has calmed down.
Okay. Well,
that makes me very happy.
That's good.
Y'all see that they're stalking, the excessive calls. She had to get a lawyer on this man. And then when she be telling people in public about what he be doing to her, Mel, I don't want you and you don't want me. He's still trying to attack her insanity. Trying to convince us that Mel is making all this stuff up. You heard what the lawyer say? Yeah, he had to get involved. But he tried to make the public seem like Mel is convinced us that Mel is making all this stuff up. His version of it is that she is telling lies. He want to attack this woman's self-esteem. He want to make her feel like she's not worthy. He don't respect her. And all he do is escalate problems all the time and then blame her on not being able to co-parent.
I guess, unfortunately, we'll have to wait until The case is open.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Case is over now, and the woman has got her last name finally, Shuri, and he is trying. He's in everybody chat that's talking about happy for her that she got that last name. He coming for everybody. He fussing with everybody that's happy about it. Anyway, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Feel y'all, she can't make up her mind. I think she backpedaling because Martel been saying that she's nothing but a friend, so now she gotta come out and say he's
Look
just
at
a friend.
Sheree look
But
different.
remember, she was talking about somehow she didn't give up on love, and how Martel was at her house every weekend. He got a big D. I mean, she was all for Martel, but Martel ignored her at his event. So she's saying a different tune now.
Wait, my time when I'm with Martel.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I just got out of something last season. He just got out of a divorce, a couple years ago.
Right.
Okay. I am slow walking this.
Are you
looking for Mr.
So now you remember when you were on your reunion, Kenya Moore had to remind you, cause you were asked, what did you know about Martel? And you act like you didn't know anything. Kenya Moore had to say, hey, he was married and he cheated on his wife.
Are you dating someone else as much as you're dating?
Are you dating
Martel?
anyone else?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Are you dating other men too?
I am.
Hey, wait a minute, y'all. Sheree done had a facelift, a nose job. Oh, Lord. All right, Sheree, go ahead on. I ain't mad at you.
Is that a yes?
I'm enjoying life. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you are
But that does not mean I'm having sex with.
We didn't say that.
Okay,
We
yes.
said,
Well, first of all, this is your vagina. If you would like to, you can. But
Yeah,
I wasn't really thinking about the sex part. I was thinking about, are you
Yeah,
dating?
Absolutely.
having them little
Dating and open to.
conversations.
Hi guys, thanks for joining my YouTube channel.
Yeah. You, your vagina been the top of the show. Loving marriage, I love and marriage Atlanta. Your vagina been the top end. Yeah, that's it, you guys. Pinky, you still there? I got two on with you up here, Pinky. You still there? Hello, Pinky? Let me pull you back in. Let me take this one out and pull this one back out. Take this one. I guess you left and came back. Oh, okay. Here she go. This her right here.
You see me?
All right, let's see.
Still here.
Hey, y'all welcome today in the house. We got the lovely Pinky the house.
Do I wave like I'm on a car? Do I wave like I'm in the Caribbean, on the car in Atlanta? You know. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
That's that Miss America way. When Kenya Moore, that's the way Kenya Moore had when she won her Miss USA.
Okay. Hey. How everybody doing?
Anyway, what's on your mind? What do you think about? We're gonna talk about Melody and the Eminem kids and how this man had just completely knocked the Eminem kids off social media so he can pull up his mistress child and get him the superiority. Pretend like Knox is really the celebrity, not the Eminem kids.
Miss Blacktitanic, if I speak, I'm going to speak because this man is crazy. He's the devil. Can I say that? But it's my opinion. He's the devil in the pink suit.
That's right. That's what he is.
He's the devil in the pink suit. But how do I feel about it? No, I'm my eyes on him. I'm going to keep my eyes on him because we have to. Because if we don't, we are melodies. We're melodies, right? But She is a full-time businesswoman, full-time mother, trying to protect the family and the kids and do all the work that she's trying to do and make sure that
What's going on with your mic? So I'm going to use muffling. Your mic is muffling.
it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, Miss Black.
Move back some. Move back some.
Okay.
Now say something.
Okay. And a lot of times I tried this time to get in a smaller room. Because
that's better. Just keep on. That's better.
Okay. Because I know with the high ceilings and the hard floor, my house echoes anyway. Even if I'm not on anything, it echoes all through the house.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know.
Now, when you sit back like that, it's good. Stay right there. Okay. Right there. Okay.
I'm going to have somebody to come look at it so we can stop all this echoing in this house.
Or you could get one of them headpiece.
One of those. And you know what? I do have one, but I would have to find it.
Okay, but you good now. Just stay right there at that distance. Okay.
But you know what? I want to piggyback on something. I think her name was May. She's in the chat. She said something about martel, and that was exactly right what she said. I do want to commend her for saying that. And then Mary Kelly.
What did she hold it? What did she say?
She was saying something about how crazy martel is and everything. And then Mary Kelly, her comment was that we also have to keep our eyes on martel because we have to be her protection, not just for Melanie, but also for those kids. Because he don't care nothing about them kids. He look at them kids as a piggy bank, and if we don't keep eyes on him, we're losing a lot of, because I look at it as evidence. We have to keep the eyes on him and document everything that we see that he's doing. Because Melanie can't see everything, but we can, because it's thousands and hundreds of us. So we can see more than she can.
You saw where she told that lawyer that she had to put that lawyer that he'll pop up on her. And that man is dangerous, you guys.
He's dangerous. That's what narcissists do. They start off trying to control, and once that woman try to leave, he make it his life mission to either get her back under control, or she's going to be unlocked. So that's
he had to get over to the public that he's the good parent. Yeah, he did this by going on a smear campaign, by beating her down, make her look like she the crazy parent and he the better parent. That's how he tried to make it look.
Right. That's what he wanted everybody to think, that she's crazy. She don't know what she's talking about. And see, a lot of times men like to believe that stuff. That she's irrational, she's this and she's that. And if you just have to sit back and watch him. I've watched him from first episode up until now. I've been watching every episode since day one. And the first time I saw that man, I knew something was right with him when I looked at him in the face. Because
they use any tactic they can, a narcissist will, to degrade you and to try to get some kind of reaction from you, so they can prove that they good parents. And then he tried to change the narrative. The narrative is that this woman is not a good parent, but Coleslaw is the better parent. Lord have mercy. And I think maybe because Coleslaw is like his mama. Maybe that's why he thinks she's a good parent. That's what I think.
You know what? I don't think he really thinks that. I think he's just saying that because she got something over on him. Yes, and he knows her lips are loose. She'll tell because she got loose lips. Because she's not that bright. She ain't bright at all.
And you know what I was thinking about this man? He wanted Sugar Mama to support him. Let's just put it like it is. He wanted part of whatever she makes. That's what he want. But I've never seen a man that want to drain their own children money.
Yeah.
How you a good dad and you want to drain your children finances the way they have to live? Right. And by him taking them off of social media, that's what he's trying to do. Drain that money from them, drain that money out of there. You know, they can't make no money. That's what he's thinking. Right. But they making money, yeah.
Yeah, but he don't know Mel is smarter than I don't know what. She is smart. Her mind be overthinking. Where he's trying to take things away from the kids and her, she had found 5 or 6 different ways to go around him and keep doing what she doing. Because, you know, God don't like ugly, and we already know he's just ugly. He's the devil. That's my opinion now, but he's the devil. Yeah.
It's pretty bad, man. I just, I was over there watching Karma Rail when she said that she would not be supporting Lil Knox. With him keep putting all these pictures up of him and Lil Knox. But it's not about Lil Knox. It's about him. Right. And this baby is just caught up in it. He uses children. He uses children in the midst of a smear campaign just so he can get recognized.
Right. And it's not that we don't want to support Knox, but if you support Knox, supporting Martel
and Arian.
Because none of that is going to go to the child. Not one. What we need to do is give that child to somebody that knows how to raise them. And Ariana needs to let somebody raise her because she still like she's in high school somewhere. She doesn't have an original thought. I think she didn't drink that Kool-Aid up here too long. And she just wilding out here. And that child, somebody needs to raise him because he's not like the M&M kids. They're well-mannered. They're widely educated. They're everything. And this little Knox, oh my God, he wears me out looking at it. He did. But
yeah, and that's what I'm trying to think. Why are you trying to bring this boy up to make him a little superior over Sugar Mama? See, he is something. He don't connect with Sugar Mama, and we know that. We know that when we saw that picture of Sugar Mama on that floor, that told it all, y'all.
On that floor, right? Because why would you take them? Both around the same age. But why would you put a little boy on your lap and put the little girl down on the floor? That didn't make sense. And then, and not just that, but he actually was on Dr. Heavenly, not Dr. Heavenly, somebody else interview, and he was questioning whether that was his child. I don't think
that was Dr. Heavenly. Okay. That was Dr. Heavenly.
Right. He was questioning that. And that's where that crazy messy Wanda got the information from.
Yeah, Wanda said that's where she got it from. He's, Melody know that he the corporate, the head snake out of everybody. He the cobra man. Out of all those people he enlisted, that's what they do. I saw that somebody in the chat said, well, that's what narcissists do. They enlist allies just to bring this girl down. He attacked this woman. He tried to belittle this woman, and then most of all, he want to work on her self-esteem, y'all.
You're right. He ain't got that woman so broken out. She ain't even a woman. I call her. She's still. I can't picture her being a woman. To me, she's close out is not a little kid to me, a child.
Yes, you're right. I noticed that. I say that all the time. She got the brains of a 5-year-old, and so do he. He do too. Both of them.
And if you watch Melanie today, she's on vacation, and she was on vacation with well-educated people. Yes, we watched that this morning, and he was talking, and he was so well spoken, well educated, and can hold a complete sentence without getting lost. And yes. Oh my God. I said to myself, oh my God. But
I want to know why would he gets up and petition to the court that none of his children can be on social media. Let me tell y'all something about that. Mel can't post them, but we can. That's what I know. I see the grandma post them on social media. But then he turns around and he's the one that initiated that the children can't be posted. Then he turns around and posts them. And then now he posts little knots. And then he have his girlfriend, Belinda, allegedly girlfriend, post them too.
Right.
I think they all in on it. Cause Belinda was at the she in on it trying to change that narrative.
Wow. Yeah, she was at both. She's been at a lot of events of his. And she even respond to herself as, what is it, the bonus mom. So that lets you know that little boss baby's been at that house more than once. For her, he's bonus mom.
But Pinky, did you see okay, her babysitter? She confirmed that man was her babysitter. Not he's in the LBGT community.
Right.
Belinda and the man on video saying that he babysit Boss Baby too.
See there, but he's so worried. That suit is so worried about Milton's brother. He sees his kids. I just think he's jealous of Milton's brother because he's successful. He's on his own. He's doing his own thing. I think he's jealous. I really do, because if he was against the LGBT community, think about it. Why would he be around CK? Why would he be around Belinda?
Yeah, and he also he claimed that's how he met Sheree through that I think he was a gay this man is gay designer, clothing designer or something. Yeah, he claimed that's how he be hanging out with him.
But you know, him and Sheree was nothing but just friends anyway. I understand that from day one. The first day when he opened the door, she opened that door, he had on a white suit with no socks on his dirty ashy feet. He had a white suit on. He never did kiss
her. Go back a little bit. There you go.
He never kissed him, and he never kissed her. They did the cheek thing. Think about it. If you're dating somebody, why would you open the door and do the cheek thing? You wouldn't do that. So, and every time you see them together, they never kiss. They just hug. And it is a strange hug. It's like you don't want to hug your brother or your sister or something.
Well, she just said they just friends, but they are friends with benefits. That she let Arian know on that. She was on Angela Yee's show, and she's letting Arian know, honey. Yes, we're friends with benefit. Yeah. What she saying?
But you know what? Why don't she promote it all? Always talking about he got that big.
She too old for that though.
Blacktitanic. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I don't understand about this big feet because I don't think so. Because no woman of her age is going to be promoting it every time she get in an interview. He got that big energy. Oh my God.
You know, she need to act her age.
She does.
She need to really act her age, right?
Yeah, she really needs to act her age. That's exactly. Oh, and the thing you wanted to talk about also, Martel stealing Sugar Mama's money and everything and putting knobs up front. That's stealing money. He wanted money, not just her money, but he wanted child support. He wanted everything.
He wanted her to take care of him like she been doing.
He trying to do some big pimping, but he haven't even qualified to be a pimp yet. That's what he's trying to do. He don't even qualify. You know, he's trying to pimp these women out to give them $250,000 and buy him some land for $29,900 and asking all this crazy stuff. He don't even know. He got to be smart to be a big pimping, and he ain't even got the pimping clothes right. So he needs to go sit down and go back to school That's what you need to do.
So I was going to change the subject a little bit to the Scots.
Okay.
Now they were out there at their Yo, that's fake. A lot of that stuff is Photoshop that they did out there. I've been out there. I pass it. Now there ain't nothing going on out there. They not building since 2019. Y'all, they've been saying that they building this Fairfield place. Now, if y'all have you seen that spot where they were standing up there,
I did.
and they had all this board with this paperwork behind them, right?
Yeah.
Well, I went over there and I read their name is not on that nowhere. The Scopes is not on there. They have another man. I'm gonna pull it up for y'all. I already got it. They have another man that got that contract, and it's not the Scopes. They lying to you guys. And how they got that photo? I don't believe they where that trailer. Huh?
That photo is an aerial shot. It comes from, you can do it from the top, or aerial shot.
Well, I saw that part too. I'm talking about where they were standing up.
Yeah.
And they were just standing up there, and Maurice came up and was talking to him.
Yeah.
All that is Photoshop, and I don't know if Marceau really allowed on that land per se where they build them, because I know where they standing at. You gotta walk way to the back to get on the land where they supposed to be building the hotel. So it's a certain spot that he can't go in. And what I say was Photoshop, because they got that trailer closer to them. And it's not there, y'all. It's just not there. Everything is just fake. And whoever heard of anybody going to a construction site, all of them got on church clothes and church shoes. And how you gonna talk about that? I get tired of the same old stuff.
They're not talking about anything. They're talking about make-believe storylines. Make-believe storylines. Like we may say just right here in chat, we know who's going to take chances on someone with all the debt and liens that they have. Nobody's going that you build anything with all those liens and debt behind you.
And judgments, they got liens and judgment against them. And then not to mention over there in Meadow Hill, I think sometimes y'all forget. I don't forget about it. I be out there with Marceau. When I went to court, I knew Marceau was going to court, but I thought it was going to be Zen Garden. So when I was just shocked. It was for something else. He hadn't paid taxes on his property it's across the street from Alabama A&M, a subdivision called Meadow Hill. He has not paid property tax, so the house was taken from him. And what he was in court for, he trying to take the house back from the man now.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith. Now, Mr. Smith told me that it was two other owners before him. So, and then the house, he had the house like 10 years, 11 years, and he done rebuilt that house. That house looked brand new. Now Marceau think he want to come back in there and take it. And the judge told him that you can't, I'm finna rule right now. And he was up there trying to defend his own self. Like he think he's so smart. And she said, well, look, you got two seasoned lawyers over there. If you want to do this case, we can try this case right now. No. I'm going to bring Maurice in. He said going to bring Maurice in there. And then so the judge gave him 30 days to come back with a lawyer, I guess, with Maurice, I guess. Mm-hmm. But he tried to take that land. He lost that land. They weren't paying no taxes on it. He lost that house.
I'm glad they did lose it, because they do too many shady things. They are shady. And now they're trying to use Melanie to do something. But on that property, let me just say, I'm going to ask you, Ms. Blacktitanic, there was some white stuff all over that land, and we was trying to figure out what that was.
Well, that wasn't there when I was over there.
It
Child,
was.
that's why I'm trying to tell y'all the shit is just Photoshop. I don't know what the hell. But when I went there with nothing but dirt, 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 dirt. So
Okay.
I don't know unless they just started working on it. But I noticed you don't see no movement. Now this supposed to be a construction site. Ain't no tractors moving. Ain't nobody working. Not nobody working over there.
Is there scope sign up? You know that big blue scope sign? Do they have?
Yeah, yeah, that big blue scope. It's like it's a big old plastic something with Scope's name on it, laying across that trailer. But see, you can't see it because that trailer is way back over there, and it's way back over there. That's why I say he was not allowed to go on that property. So what they did was Photoshop it and make that look like they were on top of it and it was closer. That's how they did it.
Oh, I bet you got permission just to stand there to do that photo.
Yeah, you could stand right there because right in that area they were standing. Somebody else on that place. It's not part of that site that they trying to build, so they could stand right there. They can stand right there.
Right
Yeah.
there. And they now if they like they say on TV that they own a multi-million-dollar company, I'm going to say this, which is my opinion, Miss Blacktitanic, but they don't have that money. They don't have that money because if they did, they wouldn't be in the situation where they are right now, have to make up storylines. You see them running stuff, and they ain't running nothing. No more. They're running to an apartment.
Never at work. Nothing they do paying out. Even Maurice. I noticed during that meeting, she was telling, they sitting at the table. Oh man, that right there was a trip. The meeting where they gonna come in late, the comeback, but just the comeback, the black boy never come. They came in late. But word on the street is they separated. You know go back and look at all of that, all of their thing, because they never walks in together.
And they always drive separate cars to them separately. And
they
show up anything. Yes.
Yeah,
and
and
said that they should all be living on the run as a family because she's in an apartment, and I'm not sure whether he's in one too. But remember, that's a family of 5. I don't know what they're trying to do. Family of 5. So
yeah, so they come in that meeting late. That is so disrespectful. They have no respect of nobody else's time. Melody busy, Kimmy don't be feeling good, and you just wasting my time. My time is valuable. But one thing that got me was when she come in there. And she didn't expect Kimmy to go there. Kimmy tired of this fakery. She tired of it because she called them out. She said, "This ain't nothing but the comeback group. You ain't did nothing but copy. This is nothing. That's all it is. All the ideas." And she gonna sit out. Yeah, I decided. She's trying to make herself look bigger than what she really is. I decided that we ain't paying nobody.
but then they want you to give your time. Melanie is a professional. She's a professional speaker. She's a businesswoman. Her time.
Yeah.
If you want her, you got to pay like everybody else. You got to pay because she don't have time for your foolishness. And Melanie goes back to the community more than all of them. She don't. She never gives back. They always been taken. Here you talking about that's greed. He don't know how much Melanie gives back to everybody. Lord.
Did you hear Mel when Mel called her out on it? Mel said, when nobody thinking about sponsorship, now you gonna come back in here and sit down, slap me in the face with my own ideas about that.
That is true. And then let me say, you all just taking the name, just change the black, take the CK out and put it like the restaurant black, and then you just making it look pretty. That's it.
Yeah. And see, if when it's all about them, the money just will go to them. They want their money going to them, and they ain't gonna go to nobody else. And they are so low down. They're some low down, cold hearted people.
They are. They are. But you got to remember, Tisha was raised by her mama, crazy Miss Wonder. And you know Miss Wonder ain't got no sense. So the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Yeah, all them degrees she keep bragging about. But let me tell you, I know about Huntsville A&M. A lot of them go to school over and over and over to get them grants. That's how they live. They sit down in that classroom. You get all that free money just to sit down. You ain't doing nothing but sitting down reading. Free money. And I used to do it too. But I didn't make no career out of it. I really needed the grant because I qualified for it. But I didn't make no career out of it like Tisha. Tisha made a career out of it and still don't do nothing with them degrees.
Because they living off it. They live off that money. But right here where it say, I think it says from Hook, Miss Hook. Is that Lauren Hook? She want to know, do Miss Titanic, have the police picked up Stormy yet? She's asking that question.
Okay, let me tell y'all what's going on. I'm gonna keep y'all updated. I'm sure gonna keep y'all updated, but she's hiding. Yeah, they got her in hiding, and they not picked her up because she's hiding, y'all. But when they pick her up, when they find her, what they'll do is give both of us a court date, and when I get that court date, y'all, I'll put it up for y'all to know. So that's it. They got her in hiding.
I wonder if she hiding out there where the chickens are.
So they got the girl in hiding. So they pros at it. They used to it. They pros at it, y'all. They ain't no strangers to the law. So they know how to do it. But she gonna slip up, and whenever they catch her, wherever she be at, they gonna get her. She gonna slip up, and yeah. And then she talk about having that party public. Oh, I know. Is she gonna give a party and hide out there? Cause I'm sure. Yeah. Never mind.
And the only reason she doing that is bring clothes on. But you know what? That's gonna backfire on her face. That's gonna backfire in her face. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to think that this is the last.
Go back again. Go back a little bit. You muffling again.
She want to say she wants to know, is this the last season of Love and Marriage in Huntsville? Linda.
You went out on me. You muffling.
Can you hear me now? If y'all can they hear me?
I can hear you, but you're going in and out.
Okay. Can you?
When you scoot back a little bit, okay, now say it over.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Most people is thinking that, like Linda Gamble is thinking that maybe this may be the last season of Love and Marriage in Huntsville. We just inquiring commands want to know this technique. I
still didn't get it. I'm sorry, Miss Pinky. I didn't get it because you keep going out. Well, this is what we're gonna do, Miss Pinky. I'm
gonna help you look at this.
Let me tell you something. This is what you're gonna do, Miss Pinky.
Okay.
When next time you come on, have your headphones on and have it plugged into, and that takes away from your muffling.
Right here. You want me to try to get?
No, I'm finna go off anyway. It's 11:56.
One next time.
Yeah, I'm finna answer some of these and then we're gonna go off. But don't forget to have your headphone on next time. But I sure did enjoy you. I'm gonna come on your channel and you pull me up.
I am. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, I have not done my first live yet. Only because I'm only 600. I think little 600, like 650 or less away from hitting that 4,000. I got my what do you call it? My subscribers, way over subscribers. I just need to get that little over 600 to get that 4,000. And then I'm all good. But I'm get it probably this week. And
Okay, y'all hear her. Y'all hear her. Go over there and subscribe, y'all. Go on over there and help my sister out.
right. And what
But
you know, watch out. Tell me
Miss
watch
Mary,
videos.
Marie for Miss Mary Keller say Stormy can run, but she can't hide because justice will definitely be served. Come out wherever you are. Come out, Stormy. I gotta use that. Yeah,
Do I
yeah.
need to put my pretty boots on and go look for it? Come down to Huntsville and look for it? Huh? I sure will.
Well, she's not that. I'm gonna tell you something. Once you got a warrant out on you, it'll be there. She can be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years down the line. It'll still be up there.
Yeah.
So she might as well go and turn herself in. And she's so big and bad. You so big and bad and tough. Why aren't you being tough with the po-po?
Yeah.
And then your mama talking about pulling up on me. And like I told her mama, why don't you pull up? Yeah, pull up. Pull your daughter on up down there at Madison County Police Department and quit talking about how you gonna pull up on me, Betty.
Do I need to come down to Huntsville and stay for a month or two?
No, girl, you gotta come to Huntsville because I got most everybody down here. I practically raised.
Okay.
Anyway, Miss Gail Thurston said Martell is a complete psychopath. She needs constant prayers for her and her children and family. This is a crazy situation for this lady to be in. Martell, leave Mel alone. That's what you need to do. Go on with your life and all the women you got, and you still messing with Mel.
You know, he got a new woman too. He got a new girlfriend in Atlanta that's younger than Belinda.
I seen it. Okay, Miss Florida Hooks. Oh, Stormy birthday parties when the Popo have a grand rising, y'all. I'm finna go, y'all. Let me just read what y'all saying, and I'm gonna get on off of here. Okay, Miss Florida Hooks, I just read yours. Miss Thurston, Gail Thurston, what you saying? Gail Thurston, Martell is a complete psychopath. Yes, he is. Don't you think he's a psychopath?
Yes,
We all know that. Yeah, a lot of people. He got so many diagnoses still. Yeah, and he fit all of them too.
Yeah.
Your sickness cutting you up, Pinky. Yeah, she know now. And May, I'm gonna say hi to you, Linda Gamble. What does May say? What you saying, May, right here? All right, May, see you. I can bring you up. May say, what happened, May? I just have to read it from over here. You disappeared. I wouldn't. Hold on, May. Well, it disappeared on me.
It did.
Anyway, hey, May, that keep disappearing on me. Camera Girl said they don't teach Black history in school. It's sad. I have learned so much from your channel. Thank you, BT. Thank y'all so much. Pinky the Housewife, Linda Gamble. Who is this? Hey, my son Hickman, you don't come up and teach about the Israelites. I want to leave that to you one day. So hit me up if you want to come teach them about who the real Israelites is at. If you still don't hear my son Hookman, I'm sure you got very educated when it comes to that subject, who the real Israelite is. Mary Kelly, we ain't gone nowhere. She said the Black Panthers need to come back, but we're still out there. I be with them all the time, y'all. I'll be back with my Black Panther friend all the time. Flory Hooks, trending at some point. Hey, well, thank y'all, my content creator, for being here. Pinky the housewife, trending at some point, and any other house creators, content creator here. Thank you for being here. Who said that? Hey, who said that? May. Come a girl. ADR says she will work in Florida. Here's Mary Kelly. That's it, y'all. If I missed any names, I apologize. Keita Osis. Hey, I don't think I know you. She's speaking to you. Keita Osis speaking to you. She says, "Hey, Miss Alma. Hello, Pinky the housewife. Love your channels. Ladies, keep up the good work."
Thank
So,
you. Thank you.
All right, who I'm trying to make sure I got everybody name. Overtime. Your guess is not clear. She knows that now. Overtime. We
Yeah.
work. She gonna work on it overtime.
I'm gonna put my speaker in my ear.
Yeah, Mary Kelly. Yeah, Gail Thurston. That's it. That's it, you guys. I'm gonna say bye. Thank y'all for being here, y'all. Thank y'all so much. And Pinky, like I said, get the headphone. That'll clear you up.
Yeah, I will.
All right, bye.
I'm trending at some point. Thank you, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye, Miss Blacktitanic.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Bye-bye.